people might turn on you, and you haven't done anything wrong, and it is safe to be seen. I have a feeling that the sensitive souls who watch my channel probably will be able to relate to something that happened to me recently. I had a good thing happen to me recently. Well, let me ask you this question. Have you ever had something good happen to you and then suddenly it felt very unsafe, like it didn't feel safe that this good thing's happening to you? Maybe you felt very vulnerable, or maybe your mind turned on you and said that people were going to hate you. This, I don't mean to laugh, but this literally just happened to me. And so I'm going to share this story today about what happened to me and how it really uncovered some super strong childhood limiting beliefs, some childhood wounds. I had to do some inner child healing and I uncovered some limiting beliefs. So let's talk about that today. And we're just going to cut straight to the chase. I'm going to tell you that you haven't done anything wrong. You haven't done anything wrong, and it is safe to be seen. So stick with me to the end, because we are going to do some healing work, some inner child healing about it being safe to be seen, or maybe whatever it is that you specifically need to hear, whatever it is that you need to know. What do you need to know deep down in your soul? So I'm going to walk you through a little process with that, and we're going to do a little healing. Okay, so I'll tell you the story about what happened to me recently. It was crazy. I had such a crazy good night. Recently, it was almost too much. Okay, so my husband and I went and saw Paul McCartney on Wednesday of this past week, and it was 10 years and one day to the day of the anniversary of when we got called on stage with Paul McCartney. It was a very life-changing thing that happened to us. And so it was 10 years and one day to the day. And so we decided that we were going to bring back these signs that got us on stage that night. The sign said, "My wife needs a hug and my husband needs a hug." Paul thought they were funny, these signs, during the concert. He read them during the sound check, during the concert, and he would say, "Well, you could just do it. Go ahead and give her a hug, or go ahead and hug each other." And so he, said that during the concert. He ended up bringing us on stage, and we all had a group hug with Paul, which was just like, amazing, life-changing experience. So 10 years later, we're like, Paul's reading signs again at the concert. We're going to bring this sign back. I didn't do any manifestation around it. I feel like I've done all my manifesting with Paul, but right now I just try to get into the receiving mode when we go see Paul. So we brought the sign back, and I honestly didn't think he would read the sign, but he did. So he ended up reading, "My wife needs a hug," during the concert, and he said, "Well," and now can I think of the exact words he said? "Well, go ahead and hug her," or something like that. I had the exact words, and I can't believe they left my brain right now as I'm making this video. But whatever. He said, "Go ahead and hug her." And then, they had the camera on us and we hugged. So it was very, exciting. It was an amazing moment with Paul at the concert. Like, we had just an amazing night. And then during Hey Jude, I've told the stories before about how we bring this sign that says, "Please say I love you, man." And he said, "I love you, man," twice. One time he said, "I love you, man. I really do." It was just pure magic. This was a magical night. I had a rough week leading up to this, going to this concert. There was like a lot of going on in my life and everything. And like, it was just very emotional. The night was emotional. Going to the Paul shows are always emotional, because you're like in this crazy high vibe. But sometimes it can get emotional. So anyway, it was a very emotional night. It was I was so tears of gratitude, just feeling so grateful for being there. As soon as I walk into the concert and hear the music, I start crying, tears of gratitude, like a crazy person when I'm walking in. So, okay, so this all happened, and it was just amazing. Like, the feeling was, my husband and I were like flying high. So after the concert, my husband wants to he is like, adrenaline, and he wants to like shout it from the rooftops what happened. And I'm like, "Be cool, be cool." I'm like trying to calm him down, trying to gather his energy. And I realized as this was happening, as I'm trying to calm him down, I started freaking out. My mind turned on me. My mind turned on me. Now, when I go to concerts, honestly, I kind of have a fear. I get anxious before going. The difference with my social anxiety, I used to have horrible social anxiety and I could not have fun at a concert. Now I still get anxious before going, but it doesn't stop me from having fun. Like, I still go and have fun. But if we're going to see Paul and we're like sitting up close and we're going to the sound check, and we're seeing a lot of people that we know, we both get really anxious before going. So all that anxiety kind of is coming out at this point too. But my point is, I still go, but I get very anxious. So Anyway, what I realized when I was trying to calm my husband down and like, I was like, be cool, like I didn't want him to tell anybody or talk about what happened. And I realized that inside my mind had turned on me, and it was like, it was telling me that everyone hated me in a way, like, or everyone's mad at you or people don't like you. And I've had this feeling after Paul shows again. I think I talked about this when we went to Paris, like the first night I had that happen to me. When I go to concerts, I also think I fear I'm afraid. I do get afraid sometimes that my mind's going to turn on me because of all the people that are there, all the thought forms that are in the air and everything like that. Like that could easily happen to me. What I learned to do is to connect to the joy in everyone. This experience has really taught me that it's so important to be with people who want to celebrate things with you. That it's, that you don't, that some people, when good things happen to you, some people do kind of, I wouldn't say they turn on you, but they can kind of go silent. We had this happen to us, especially 10 years ago when that happened to us, so um anyway, but let me get back to what happened. So the day after the concert, I was driving home. We were driving home. I was driving, and I felt so much better. Well, that night, Craig made me post about it. So I had posted some pictures or something online, and he made me post about it because we wanted it on Facebook for our memories and things like that. And I did not want to post about it. I was freaking out. I did not, but he like made me, and it just felt, I knew it was the right thing to do. Like later on, like we got a lot of like people online being so nice to us and celebrating with us and like that. So I woke up the next day, I had to calm down. I woke up the next day feeling much better, like so empowered, I can't describe it. Like just, it was a good feeling. So, but I'm driving home and I'm like, where is this coming from? This like, that feeling I had the night before, because it had kind of subsided the next day. Things felt okay and felt right. And as I'm driving home, I thought about it and I'm like, oh my God, it was this feeling that everybody is going to turn on me. And then I was asking myself, like, okay, well, when have I felt that before? Like, when as a child did I possibly feel this feeling that people are going to turn on me or that people aren't going to like me anymore? And two memories, very strong memories came up that were, I think, have become core memories for me. This is so cool. Like when you go out in the world, like go doing scary things or like working through your anxiety and like this is where it's a real time where you can really do some of this healing work, right? And this opportunity for me to do some healing work. And stay tuned because we are going to do some healing work at the end of this session or at the end of this video. Okay, so I was driving and I'm like, where have I felt that feeling before that was a horrible feeling like people are going to turn on me? Well, I had two childhood memories that came up. One was when I was in grade school, I had this outfit. I had this outfit that was all pink, and I loved pink and purple. And I remember thinking that was stupid. Like I wasn't supposed to like pink and purple, whatever. This is, in grade school, I was trying to fit in. But I had this pink outfit and it had bears in bumper cars. It was like a sweatshirt. It had bears and bumper cars all over the sweatshirt. And then it had bears and bumper cars on the leggings. It was the best outfit. I loved this outfit. It was just, there was something about it. I still remember it. I was in love with it. Okay. I wore it all the time. And one time I was walking home from school with my best friend, very, very best friend. And we got into an argument about something. And she said to me, you shouldn't be wearing that outfit. You look ridiculous. Those leggings are too tight. I mean, this was the 80s. It was like you didn't even wear leggings with like short tops at that time. It was like a big top on top, right? It was like it always had to cover your butt if you had leggings on. So I was wearing the style at the time, right? And I was just totally, when she told me that I looked ridiculous, I shouldn't be wearing this, and it was my best friend who turned on me in this moment. And I honestly, it was awful. It was like, it felt like I was dying. I thought she was right. I thought, I shouldn't be wearing this. Oh my God, what have I been doing? I've worn this so many times. I made such a fool of myself. I mean, I was maybe in third or fourth grade. And I was like, I've made a fool of myself. But still, it's like, I knew even then, I remember thinking, this isn't right. Like I should be able to wear what I want and this shouldn't affect me. not that this shouldn't affect me, but this shouldn't change what I wear. Like, I'm okay. I remember having that thought, but it was very small, you know? So that was one of the memories that came up. And so I asked myself, well, let's talk about the second memory. And I will say, when I talk about these memories, I'm not blaming anyone. I think this is so important, like in therapy, like when we look to see where things came from, or therapy or coaching or whatever, or just in life, that we're not blaming anyone. Like I probably did something similar to somebody else. I mean, I don't think I would have ever, I don't know. I don't know if I would have ever told anybody that their outfit was ridiculous. But I don't know. We were in like an argument. So people say things, right? So I'm not blaming anybody, or we're all part of this big cycle, and like we're all healing together. So it's not about blame, but it is about identifying where it came from, and then asking yourself, what did you really need to know in that moment? Okay, so the second memory involved another one of my very, very best friends. And I was in fifth grade and I went to Florida. I had never flown in an airplane. And my parents and I, over spring break, we flew in an airplane to Florida. It was like the first time I had even gone on vacation for spring break. The one and only time I flew, I think, with my parents. And, I was very excited about this. And for some reason, my fifth grade self was obsessed with limousines. I was obsessed with limousines. I just thought they were the coolest thing. Like now today, it's like, well, anybody could I don't think it's even that much more expensive to get a limousine than to get a taxi. I don't know. But my parents, because I was obsessed with limousines, my parents got a limousine for us to take to the airport. And I was so excited. Like this was the best thing. I was just so excited about this limousine. And so months later, this was months later. And this is what I think was so like hard about these memories. I think this is what was so like made this such a core, like traumatic memory. Both of these is that it was like somebody had turned on me later. Like I had worn that outfit many times, and then she didn't, and then she said it after. It was like she had been thinking it the whole time. And this also came out like months later. My friend said something about how I had written her a postcard when I was in Florida about how I took a limousine. And she started like ripping on me about it, said that I was bragging about it and that it was like embarrassing and yada, yada. And I remember being like, oh my God, again, like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. She's right. This is humiliating. Like I shouldn't have been, maybe I was bragging, I mean, when you think about it, I was just excited and sharing about it. But like at the time I was so humiliated. And I have to say, like both of these friends I thought were amazing. Like these were people who were, in my eyes, better than me. Like this girl, the girl who said that about the limousine, she was like part of the popular crowd. Like I wasn't, I just figured I kind of figured she was better than me in a way. And the same with this other friend. So not that, I mean, this was me back then. I don't think anyone's better or worse or anything like that, but that was how my fifth grade brain kind of process that. So these were two core memories that came up when I was driving home, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And it felt so much similar. This was the same feeling that I felt the night before after the concert. Almost like I couldn't breathe, and it felt like everyone was going to turn on me, and it felt like I was going to die. Like I couldn't handle it. Like it was irrational. It was unreasonable. I told my husband that I was feeling this way. He couldn't get me out of it. Like it was really bad. And so it's so interesting how when like the outside things, they're changing all the time. It doesn't turn on you, but you could turn on it. That's why it's so important to keep this inner peace, to find this place of peace within yourself, right? So, okay, so I asked myself, what did I really need to know? What did I need to know in those moments as a child? And like I was connecting to my childhood self. Both, I remember where I was walking home from school when my friend told me that my outfit was ridiculous. I remember exactly where I was standing. I don't remember exactly where I was when my friend said that about the limousine, but like I could just picture who I was back then. And I said, what did you need to hear? What did you need to know, Elizabeth? Like let's do it now. And basically what I needed to know was you haven't done anything wrong. You haven't done anything wrong, and it is safe to be seen. It is safe to be seen. Now, I was thinking about this because this idea that everyone's going to turn on you, that's not true. That is a lie. That is a lie from the devil, right? Everyone will turn on you. That's not true. That is a lie. But it is true. But what makes it feel so real is that I did have people turn on me, and I have had people turn on me, or as I would say, as I'm older, more like go silent on me. So like I have had people turn on me, but it doesn't mean that everyone will turn on you. And that's where I've discovered, like, it's so important. I've discovered throughout this whole thing. I mean, as sensitive people, it's just really important that we surround ourselves with people who will celebrate with us when things are good, who will be there also when things are bad, but because we are affected more deeply. We are affected more deeply. And even things that we see, things that the news or any other like negative videos or anything like that, like we are affected very deeply. Like we experience life. I mean, I'm already experiencing life on high alert. Like I'm experiencing life. I'm a sensitive person. So going to like a Paul McCartney concert and having Paul McCartney acknowledge you in the concert, I'm experiencing it probably even more because I am a sensitive person. And I could almost feel this idea. I could almost feel that time wasn't real in those moments because I could feel myself connecting with my inner child and knowing, like, because I remember having that thought back then, like, this isn't right. This should not change my actions. That's what I think made me angry about it, is that just because somebody says that doesn't mean I should act differently. And back then I did. I always did. I'm also a people pleaser. I would try to, but you can't live your life like that, right? Based on other people's responses to you, and just I've lived my life like that a lot. You're a wreck. It would make one a wreck. I've really, like, since this incident, I have really like promised myself some things. And I wonder too, like, even with this YouTube channel, like this idea of afraid of being seen, that I haven't done anything wrong, because I can post a video, I can post something, even just like something pretty mild on like my personal Facebook page or something, and I used to get that feeling anytime I'd post anything on Facebook. And my husband's been so helpful because he's like, I want this posted on Facebook for our memories. He's like, he wants me to do it. And so I just kind of trusted him that night and did it. But I remember he would do that like when we first were dating, even like he kind of got me on Facebook. The whole Paul McCartney experience is what got me on social media. Like I didn't have an Instagram before that, because I was afraid. Like it was scary. It felt too vulnerable to post. So now I could post something. I used to post something mild and feel afraid. It didn't feel safe for me. So I could definitely post a YouTube video and then feel that I've done something wrong and that it's not safe to be seen. And I just wonder, like, having that concert experience, if that's going to affect and like doing this inner child work and healing, if that's going to affect my YouTube, because maybe that sometimes is what is holding me back on YouTube, is that I'm still holding on to these ideas, these beliefs, these childhood wounds, that it is not safe to be seen, that I have done something horribly wrong. Elizabeth, you've done something horribly wrong. You wore that outfit. So the night going to that concert, I can't remember exactly what the A Course in Miracles lesson was for that day, but it was something along the lines of, my goal is God. My goal is God. That's what I told myself. My goal is God. My goal is God. I like Show Me the Limitless Power of My Peace too. That's one of my favorites. Show Me the Limitless Power of My Peace. My goal is God. Also, like, I don't think I was saying this at the time, but I thought about this when I thought about making this video. Creation's gentleness is all I see. Watching Paul on stage is so interesting because he is gentle. Like, it's so weird to think about this. Like, that's how this rock star being kind of gentle. And I think that's how he keeps going, like accepting the crowd with gentleness or something. I don't know what exactly point I'm trying to make here, but it's this creation's gentleness, like affirming creation's gentleness is all I see. And like, so this is important. I always feel like I talk about inner peace, and every time I get there, I never get there to like perfect inner peace, but every time I get there more and more and expand it more and more, something like I'm more brave, I'm more myself, I go out into the world, and then something will happen that will freak me out. And then I go back to this place of inner peace. It's so, so important. It's so, so important, because this world, for sensitive people, it can be very difficult. Okay, so let's what was the other lesson? Oh, I wanted to talk about lesson 285. My holiness shines bright and clear today. My holiness shines bright and clear today. This lesson, the title of the lesson isn't my favorite, but when you read the lesson, it's so good because it's really declaring that life is good, that things are good. My holiness shines bright and clear today, that we are supposed to be joyful. Good things are supposed to happen, right? Okay, so today I wake with joy, expecting but the happy things of God to come to me. You know, and Pam Gregory says this too. It is almost the ultimate, what's the word, rebellion right now to be in joy, because it is so in style to be hating the world, to be a victim of the world, to be blaming the world, right? And so like when we choose joy, when we choose light and love and happiness, it is rebellion, because not everybody will like that, right? Not everybody will like that your holiness shines bright and clear today, but you want to find the people that do. Okay, today I wake with joy, expecting but the happy things of God to come to me. I ask but them to come and realize my invitation will be answered by the thoughts to which it has been sent by me. And I will ask for only joyous things the instant I accept my holiness. I feel like I'm hitting this today a lot. And I will ask for only joyous things the instant I accept my holiness. For what would be the use of pain to me? What purpose would my suffering fulfill? And how would grief and loss avail me if insanity departs from me today and I accept holiness instead? Father, my holiness is yours. Let me rejoice in it and through forgiveness be restored to sanity. Your Son is still as you created him or her. My holiness is part of me and also part of you, and what can alter holiness itself? So today I wake with joy, expecting but the happy things of God to come to me. Today I wake with joy, expecting but the happy things of God to come to me. Okay, so now let's do a little healing. Let's look around the room. And so for those of you who might have this visibility wound, which is probably very common among sensitive people, it is safe to be seen. It is safe to be heard. So, well, first of all, let's do this. If something good happens to you or something bad happens to you, whatever it is, like if you're having this feeling, if you're having a feeling kind of repeat itself that feels like it's something that's unresolved, you can ask yourself, and it's something that might, reveal some shame or guilt or something like that, and it feels like it's unresolved. You can ask yourself, when have I felt this before? When did I feel like this as a kid? What does this remind me of? And then what you do is whatever comes to you, whatever memory comes to you, you kind of think about the memory. You could write down the memory will come to you. And then you ask yourself, what did I need to know in that moment? Like, what do I know now that is true that I needed to know? And you feel yourself embodying that truth now. For me, it was, I have done nothing wrong. It is safe to be seen. I have done nothing wrong. It is safe to be seen. But it could be something a little bit different for you, but it probably is something similar. I have done nothing wrong. It is safe to be seen. So you think of a memory. You don't think of the memory. You kind of let it come to you because it's how you're feeling now. And you ask yourself, when did I feel this way in my past? You allow the memory to come, and then you ask yourself, what did I need to know? What did I need to know back then? And then you allow yourself to embody that knowledge, that truth from back then, but you allow yourself to embody it now, knowing that you are healing your childhood self too. Okay, so let's go out into the world and let's feel safe being seen. Not that you have to be seen as a sensitive person. Like, it's completely okay to not be seen as well, or we're all not seen in the same way. But I do believe like that it could keep us from our mission here, from being our true selves, if we are afraid of being seen. If there's a fear that we have that's keeping us from being who we truly are meant to be here, that's where it could become a problem. So go ahead and let's put both feet on the ground. I'm sitting Indian style. Let's put both feet on the ground and let's do a little deep breathing as we look around. And this is something you can do anytime if you're feeling anxious. This is just a little mindfulness exercise where you look around and you notice 5 things. You could say like the color, the texture. I notice my silvery curtains. I notice my purple file cabinet. I notice my wood on my desk. I notice my plant that's leaning towards the sun over here. And I notice my crystal, my pink crystal. So just name 5 things that you see. You can put the color, the texture, whatever. 5 things you see. And you can put your hand on your heart. And you can tell yourself what you needed to hear, what you need to know. I did nothing wrong. It is safe to be seen. It is safe to be joyous. It is safe to celebrate. My joy doesn't take from anyone. It lights the path for those who are ready. It lights the path for those who are ready to share it with me. My light liberates others and helps others to shine more brightly. I have done nothing wrong. It is safe to be seen. Okay, deep breath and release. You know, I usually say, like with affirmations and stuff, that you word them in the positive, like it's safe to be seen. But I was trying to think about this yesterday, and for me, for instance, I have done nothing wrong. It is true. Like, I do believe that you have done everything right, that everything is right. Like, you want to be in this moment, everything is right. But you have done nothing wrong. Just it hit that moment for me better than making that into a positive. So sometimes it's okay to use it, to phrase it in the negative, is what I'm trying to say. If it hits it better, if it hits that feeling, if it hits what you needed to hear more, then use it. So whatever it was that you needed to hear is perfect. Okay, my name is Elizabeth Cermak. I never introduced myself today. I'm a psychotherapist turned coach, here to talk about inner peace, bringing the vertical into this world. And I hope that I hope this video was helpful today. Go ahead and subscribe below if you want more videos like this. Remember, as sensitive people, we are here to be who we are, to live bravely. We are here to live peacefully and bravely in this world. So like I said, go ahead and subscribe below if you want more videos like this, and I will talk to you soon. Peace and love.